Are we ready to light this candle?
Is it a candle or bomb? Let's light it up, baby.
No, it's back. Give it to the quarterback. No, we got the running back.
Well, look at this. Two of my favorite people in the world talking to each other.
Straight off the couch. I'm exhausted.
I'm exhausted too, Al, but we're going to power through this anyway. Let me bring in my broadcast partner, the amiable and affable Adam Weidel. Adam, how are you, buddy?
I'm so good, bud. I never get sick of these rotating intros that change every week. How was your weekend?
You know, I don't think it was as stressful as yours was.
Oh, no, definitely not. We'll get into that.
I actually had been thinking about that a little bit, that it's a good thing, maybe in a weird way, it's a good thing the Bears didn't make it into the playoff, because it'd be no good at all if you and I would have been a wreck on Sunday at the same time.
We would have been at different times, but I found that this weekend was more, the anxiety was higher, even though we didn't have, a Thursday night, a Saturday, a Sunday, a Monday night, like all the things that we usually do where it's like, oh, there's a lot of football on.
Right, 137 different things going on at once, right.
Yeah, this weekend was really different. It was like, okay, we don't start with a Thursday night. Friday's kind of like, oh, the weekend's here, and then Saturday we were kind of like, now what? And everybody's waiting for Championship Sunday.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I noticed Saturday I was much more bored than I have been recently on Saturdays. So
yeah, you just kind of get accustomed to the schedule ramping up with playoffs and everything coming, and them trying to get all the games on network TV and whatever streaming service they're affiliated with.
I feel like the character in the movie Rounders. I feel so used, like a cheap teenager coming in for a quickie.
Oh, Teddy KGB.
Teddy KGB, yeah. So let's go ahead and launch right into the review of the games. Just programming note for the boys and girls. We're not going to talk about our predictions this week. We're going to do a show next Monday where Adam and I get into that. So this week we're going to just do a review and a couple other housekeeping things we got to get done.
Yeah, that's mainly because we have 2 weeks to the Super Bowl, and we've kind of did ourselves a disservice on picking on Tuesdays and Mondays when we had a chance because we didn't get the injury report. This way, we can give you a more accurate picture of the Super Bowl.
And we don't have a week where there's no show. I like doing the show. I believe Adam likes doing the show. So
yeah, we could do it. We could do it multiple times a week if people would tune in. But they only want to hear about the games, Terry.
We'll have to. No, they like the food. So the early game Sunday, yesterday afternoon, the Patriots flying halfway across, 3/4 of the way across the country, flying into Denver. And if you remember the before the game, people are going, it's a good thing this isn't in New England because you had 14 inches of snow and sub-zero temperatures.
Well, joke was on them.
How did that work out, huh?
Yeah, that was the first time I'd seen a game go. I've seen lots of snow games and lots of adverse weather games, but that's the first time I saw a game go from sunny in the first half to an absolute whiteout by the fourth quarter.
And CBS Paramount, who was broadcasting and covering that particular game, about halfway through, was it the third or the fourth quarter, they tried putting up fake field markings so you could see the 10, the 20,
the white
the 30.
lines. Yeah, they use the digits too.
And because the Patriots were wearing white uniforms, they kind of blended into the snow, and you couldn't see the Patriots players for like 5 plays, and they were like, oh, we better turn this off.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure you saw it. I know I saw it a lot. Everybody hates Tony Romo. And then you point out we get Chris Collinsworth next week. And you're like, what do you mean you get Chris Collinsworth next week? Because NBC's doing the Super Bowl. So it's going to be unfortunate that we get, another week of bad announcing. But Mike Tirico is significantly better than anybody else calling games right now, in my opinion, with the exception maybe of Kevin on Fox. I really like Kevin on Fox, but Mike Tirico and Collinsworth are the guys we have next week.
2 weeks.
2
yeah.
weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So we get Collinsworth saying, now here's a guy.
Are we going to get Collinsworth doing his job or relying on interns to give him information and just regurgitating what the interns are doing? Because that's happened a lot.
Well, if he doesn't say Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, then I'll be shocked. But we'll throw that into next week's prop bets.
There you go. That's a good prop bet. How many times is he going to talk about Mahomes and blowing Mahomes? Anyway, the Patriots squeaked this one out in a game that didn't go the way anybody thought it was going to go.
Yeah, so I had super high anxiety right from the start of this game. For those that don't know, Jarrett Stidham was drafted by the Patriots and sat behind Tom Brady for 2 years.
I could tell you were stressed out because usually when we're going back and forth, there's more of a lighthearted vibe to things.
Dude.
And you were totally locked in.
I looked at my heart rate on my watch, and it was at 100 BPM, and I was sitting on the couch. It was, dude, anxiety was real. So,
and that's what I'm talking about. Had the Bears been in the second game, it'd have been 9 straight hours of straight off the couch anxiety. I couldn't have that.
Yeah, it's straight out of the mental ward is what the show would be called. So, first two drives, first team's drives, both sides are 3 and outs. So I'm like, oh, we got a defensive battle here. And then the next drive, Jarrett Stidham threw a beautiful ball.
Well, people were in the stands were holding up signs. We're behind Stiddy. We love Stiddy. It's funny because he's just an understiddy.
Yeah, I couldn't even laugh at that when you threw it at me the first time. I was just so stressed out. So this game was a 7-0 game for a long time, and then the Pats scored a field goal. And then we had a Jarrett Stidham backwards pass fumble sort of thing go on.
That was a really awkward chain of events. Yeah,
that was a really weird play.
Until then, though, it didn't look like the moment was too big for Stidham.
No, that was the part of the game that rattled him.
Mm-hmm.
And the previous drive, they could have taken the field goal, but they chose to go for it on 4th down and got stopped. And that's when that's when things started to kind of okay.
A lot of teams are doing that more and more recently, and I get it. Points are at a premium, and you don't want to. If you can get 7, get 7. But how many times are we seeing it come back to haunt teams later?
Well, and that's what this did. So after the backwards pass fumble sort of thing that we don't know what it was, defensive player from the Patriots scoops it up and takes it into the end zone. But whistle was blown. Play should have been alive, but the whistle was blown. So Pats get it on the 8-yard line.
After the officials have a conference, because initially they ruled it an incomplete lateral.
It was very convoluted.
Yeah.
We're all sitting there going, what is this?
And if the officials hadn't blown the play dead, it would have been 7.
Yeah, I mean they eventually got it right, but they have to call it dead ball because they blew a whistle. But yes, it would have been 7.
And the other thing about this game, a lot of missed field goals.
But the weather was the culprit there. We had 2 good kickers in this game.
Mm-hmm,
2 guys that had amazing stats. They were I don't know, 95% or something like that.
Right,
and ridiculous.
They're playing in that mile-high thin air where things are supposed to go farther, but the weather was
the wind swirling.
Yep.
And
weather was nope, not today, boys.
This is the first game that I think the weather was an extreme factor. By the 4th quarter, it was 3 and out. Patriots could run the ball. Broncos couldn't. The time of possession was in Patriots' favor, and they squeak it out 10-7. It's the lowest scoring game we've seen in a while. And especially for a playoff game, we knew these were 2 good defenses, but we didn't expect the score to be this low. But nobody could move the ball. You couldn't throw the ball. You couldn't even see the Patriots on the field. Like, I think they had that as an advantage. Wearing all white, like, I don't think you could see the guys half the time. They were in, like, stealth mode.
They were, yeah, unless you had a good shot at the blue numbers or that red and blue thing on their sleeves, you were going to lose them if they got 5 yards down the field, just because of the weather.
They're just the weather was horrendous. So yeah, Patriots move on to the Super Bowl, and that was the most intense 3 hours. I still haven't gone to the bathroom. Yeah. I have a diamond up my butt right now. Just so tense, man. Especially when it's like 10-7 and you're messaging me and you're like, hey, hang on there, buddy. And I'm just like, it's only 3 points. Like,
I know. Cause this year, 3 points is nothing. You honestly need to go into 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter and have 98 points on them, because they're going to come back somehow, some way. That's just the way this year is gone. But,
so that was a good one. I was pleased to see, Mike Vrabel actually get an AFC championship title as a coach
in his first year with the Patriots.
I don't even care that it's his first year. It could have been his 5th year. It's just like, Tennessee, wow, what did you do?
Yeah, they're probably kicking themselves in the ass. And since we were talking about the weather, because as I'm texting with you, I'm also texting with Damon and Bratcher. One of the things Bratcher said over and over and over throughout the playoffs is he thinks all playoff games should be inside on a neutral site, so weather can never be a factor.
I don't know about that.
I don't know, Jim. I don't know, Jim.
Yeah. I don't know, Bratcher. I got to call that one out. So what's the point of seeding? What is the point of...
You lose your home field advantage, right?
Yeah, like that's kind of what you want. And then we get into a situation where, okay, like it's a neutral site. Let's say, okay, it's the Super Bowl, San Francisco. I get the neutral site thing, but you really want, Denver and New England fans to travel that far to support their team in a playoff game? Like, because it's going to be all like California people that are going to get the tickets first.
And did you see, I read a news article today, there's already, because of the Santa Clara location, do the teams go now and risk the chance of being exposed to the energy waves coming off the substation and
the electrical fields from the substation?
Yeah, I read that's already an issue for some of the players. And dude,
Mac Hollins will be fine.
Dude, if you're that paranoid, maybe you should put down the pipe a little bit. I'm just saying, So anyway,
I disagree with Bratchard's analysis of all playoff games indoors, neutral field, because it takes so much of the dynamic away, especially since, okay, you do have a lot of open air stadiums, Buffalo, Chicago, New England,
Lambeau Field,
New York. There's so many different places, like Eastern Seaboard places, that have open air stadiums. The part of the playoff seeding is to have home field advantage.
Not just that. Weather wasn't a major issue, but in the second game, I mean, let's face it, Seattle's 12th man. If you lose that advantage if you do it.
You got like probably the highest decibel stadium in the league.
Yeah.
Them and Chiefs Stadium are probably the two loudest in the league.
So we moved to Nance giving out the trophy for the AFC Championship, and Drake May not knowing what to do with it for 5 minutes. He just carried it around like, is somebody going to take this away from me?
He's such a sweet kid. He's so innocent. Like, he can play football, but like his social skills are so strange. He's like, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for dinner, sir. Can I do the dishes?
And
he's that type of character.
And he's holding on to Lamar Hunt trophy the entire time.
He tried to give it back. He tried to put it back on the pedestal.
Yeah, it was really funny.
And Nance was like, no, you take that to your team now, son.
It was really funny. And then we move into the late game, which was the Niners going what, a couple hundred miles up the coast to
not the
Seattle.
Niners. The Niners are.
Or, I'm sorry,
all in,
the Rams. The Rams. Yeah, thank you. The Rams going a few hundred miles up the coast to Seattle to play in like we talked about a second ago, the loudest stadium in the league, and that was a much more score-intensive game than the other one.
So there was some good scoring. It was nice to see both of these teams move the ball up and down the field. If you do recall, this is their third match, their rubber match, basically. The first game was very high scoring between them. The Rams won that. And then the Seahawks came out on the second meeting in their high decibel uniforms. I'm sure Coach would be really happy about that game because he loves uniforms. But
speaking of which, when we get to it,
that was a super defensive battle. That was a very low-scoring game.
It really was. I wasn't expecting that kind of defensive struggle. I thought it was going to be more high-flying, but no, they.
So to see the third reincarnation of this game and have a good defensive battle with movement of the ball up and down the field and some exciting plays. That was nice.
You could see McVay actually calling plays, thinking my defense is going to carry this for me, and that's not the way McVay usually coaches. That was completely out of character for him. So it turned out to be a really good game, though. Seattle obviously is going on to the Super Bowl in Santa Clara with the Patriots.
Yeah, so we're rematch of Super Bowl 49 with two completely different teams.
And there's one thing I never could stomach about Santa Clara. All the damn vampires.
Yeah, all the damn vampires. I knew something was coming. I was like, oh, I know this reference. Oh, I know this reference.
I probably actually have that sound clip somewhere if I went digging for it. So you talked earlier about Coach. I got a voicemail. Do you want to hear it?
Oh, you got another voicemail?
Got another voicemail.
He only texts me.
Lucky me, huh? Sorry, I should have had this ready.
Hi, Terry, it's Coach. I don't know why you're not answering your phone when I call. Are you avoiding me? Anyway, I see the Patriots and the Seahawks are going to be in the Super Bowl, and I thought it'd be fun if they wore those cool alternate uniforms, the high decibel in Seattle and
there you go.
Nor'easter in New England. I thought that'd be fun, but they might just clash. I don't know what the rules are. Anyway, I'm doing well, except for one thing. They sent me to Central America, and they said, you got to check out the football here. And unfortunately, it's not the same football. There's no tight ends. There's no touchdowns. They kicked this little white and black ball. It's soccer, Terry. It's soccer. They told me it's football, but it's soccer. Anyway, they hand out cards instead of throwing penalty flags, and I'm like, ooh, maybe they'll have a phone number on the card or something like that.
A picture.
It'd be fabulous to get this cute referee's phone number, but they're handing out cards. There's no phone numbers on them. I'm super disappointed, super sad. I miss you guys. Can hardly wait till next season.
Aww.
Toodaloo for now.
He's such a sweetheart.
The miss you guys thing gets me, but man, he was having like heart palpitations or something there. He's talking about the cards that the soccer umps give out.
Maybe they should put their pictures on them and like a QR code for their LinkedIn page or something.
I don't know who keeps telling them to go to these imaginary football games though. Like first it was like the Cancun Invitational, and yeah, that wasn't a thing.
Now he's in Central America.
Now he's doing a soccer match thinking it's football.
He may be chasing somebody too. We don't know.
Oh, you never know with him, man. He's all over the place. He's a jet setter.
So
what though? He did mention the high decibel uniforms that the Seattle Seahawks wore against the Rams that we were just talking about. And he mentioned the Nor'easter uniforms that New England wore, and that's all part of the Nike rivalries. The AFC East and the NFC West all had a special uniform for rivalry matches that they got to wear once. New England's was fire, and Seattle's was pretty good too. If they could wear those or their throwbacks in the Super Bowl, would be super.
The throwbacks.
The throwbacks would work because it would be red versus blue, right? Kind of like AFC, NFC.
Those 70s Seahawks uniforms with the big
I think the Nike rivalry uniforms might have been a little too close. It was that powder blue for New England and then that wolf gray for Seattle.
Yeah,
So they might
yeah.
have been a little too close. He said they were going to clash. I think they'd look good together. We just wouldn't know
Who's who?
who's who.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the breakdown. We know what's going on. Let's get into coaching. What's happened with the coaching carousel? So here's the positions that have been filled. The Steelers went with Mike McCarthy. The Ravens went with Jesse Minter. The Giants went with John Harbaugh. The Falcons
That's a
with
good
Kevin Stefanski, who, by the way, Adam and I think the Falcons coaching staff have a facial hair requirement, or they can't be on the staff. That's
Yeah,
just-
they have to have like perfectly groomed beards
Yeah.
because man, oh man, those guys have like some fantabulous facial hair.
The Dolphins went with Jeff Halfley, and the Titans went
Yeah.
with Robert Saleh. Texting with Bratcher, he thinks Saleh is overrated. I don't think so. I think that's a good move by the Titans.
I think it's a step forward for the Titans, but I don't disagree with Bratchard either.
It's they're not going to
I
get
don't
any worse.
I don't think Saleh can command a locker room as a head coach. I think he's a great coordinator. I just don't think he can be a leader of men when it comes to the big stage.
here's
Because we've seen it before.
Here's the teams still waiting to hire: the Bills, the Browns, the Cardinals, and the Raiders. The Bills, they went from one of the more respected teams in the league to basically bizarro Bills. They interviewed
Yeah.
they interviewed Phillip Rivers last week.
They've interviewed so many people.
I know.
And it's like, I said this to Terry. I said they should just like everybody that is looking for a job or is being interviewed for a job. It doesn't matter if it's a fry cook at McDonald's, whatever. Everybody should announce their interviews and be like, Terry's interviewing for this radio job on WKLB or whatever radio station. Just put that up there, and then the next one can be like, we're interviewing.
It's like that scene in Moneyball where Brad Pitt walks into the room and goes, "Hey, you played baseball, did you? Well, a little t-ball. Good, you're the new head scout. That's what it's going to be like for the head coach. Hey, you played football, didn't you? Pee Wee League.
Buffalo has, shot themselves in the foot here, I believe, with the press conference.
What they did with
throwing Keon Coleman under the bus. I mean, you never throw your players under the bus.
That has really bad optics, and that makes other coaches think, are they going to do the same thing to me if they're not happy with the results? So yeah,
right. So yeah, who would want to coach there? And they're going to get, oh, I'm going to be the scapegoat. I'm going to get fired if I don't hit the playoff ceiling that they want, which is a Super Bowl title.
Now, conversely, the Browns have people just canceling interviews.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're a Cleveland's Browns fan, we feel sorry for you. But I mean, I don't think there's a lot of interest in Buffalo.
I don't think there's interest in Buffalo or Cleveland. And every time I see another guy's withdrawn his name from consideration in Cleveland, it just brings a smile to my face because it's such a train wreck over there.
I mean, that goes to show ownership, though, on different teams. Like, everybody knows who to stay away from, I think, at this point.
Right.
If you're getting rid of Kevin Stefanski, it's not his fault because he's not the GM.
No.
He doesn't make the decisions.
No, and
personnel decisions.
And while we're on the topic of the Browns and Stefanski, do you see who was, because Drake May is going to be playing, he's not going to be in the Pro Bowl. Did you see who's taking his place?
Yeah, Shadur.
How the hell did that happen? Shadur,
Yeah,
he didn't do bad. He didn't underperform. We have yet to see if he's going to be a long-term quality starter, though. I mean, he had 7 starts under his belt.
I think this is an entertainment optics.
Yeah, I don't like it because there's somebody else out there who actually deserved that next spot, and
Maybe they turned it down. A lot of players think the Pro Bowl is a little bit of a joke.
Yeah. But I'm also wondering if maybe Primetime was on the phone to the sports writers, going, "Hey, my boy." So that drives me a little crazy.
Talking to Stephen A. Smith or something. Stephen A. knows somebody. And
right. Yeah, and so the Cardinals, we haven't heard much about the Cardinals. I know they've interviewed a few candidates, and the very last one, the Raiders. I think they're going to get Marv Levy next.
The Bills are interviewing for him tomorrow. That and Jimmy McGinty. So the Bills, I want to go back to this because, I mean, who doesn't want to coach Josh Allen?
But like you pointed out, they're going to be worried about the ownership publicly voicing their displeasure. At this point in time, I'm going to go a little political here. I'm sorry. The Bills are like Trump.
We brought politics into the show.
But
We've lost 2 listeners.
They're so loud and bombastic, and if you screw up, they're going to talk about it, and nobody wants to deal with that headache and that fallout, and that reminds me of the current administration.
I saw a team that was doing so well. I mean, they've had some issues over the years. They've corrected them. They fell to the injury bug a little bit this year. At the beginning of the season, you told me that they were the hands-on favorite to win 100% of their games.
They were.
And on paper, it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
But we all know what happens any given Sunday.
Then they get to the postseason. There's no Burrows. There's no Mahomes. There's no Brady. There's nobody in front of Josh Allen. This looks like his chance, and he couldn't get it done.
Yeah, and I mean, we can call it what it is. That game against Denver was a close game. It was 33-30, and it went to overtime. And there was some bad plays on the Bills side. There was some bad plays on the Denver side, and there was some controversial calls. And Buffalo fans will let you know that it was a catch still. They're still salty.
I'm still seeing that.
Buffalo is the new Philadelphia, I'm kind of thinking. But and I don't mean to like insult all Buffalo fans. You're all good, but man, the ones that go online are so salty. I mean, you're not even in the talk anymore. And it's all because New England's back on top again, and they're just like, well, we beat you 6 years in a row, and yeah, but now look at it took the Patriots going to the postseason for Buffalo to implode.
Your window is closing, and it's just the way it is. And there's gonna need to be changes. That's what's going on in Kansas City right now. There's a lot of changes with the coaching staff in Kansas City. They fire Matt Nagy and bring in Eric Bieniemy, much to my chagrin, because I like Bieniemy here in Chicago. So they're Kansas City recognized changes need to be made, and they're making them, but they're doing it much smarter than they're making those changes in Buffalo.
Yeah, I agree. Kansas City had a bad season.
They did.
They just had a bad season. That's all there is to it. And teams go through that, whatever it may be.
Yep. And to play in the postseason, deep in the postseason, 5 or 6 years in a row, it takes a toll on your body. And I think that caught up to him a little bit too.
Well, once you get to the top, there's only one way to go, right?
Right. Yeah. You're either expanding or contracting in life, and they were at the top. There's no more expanding from there. So yeah. So that's our coaching carousel conversation. Let's get into the food, Adam.
Well, one thing I want to get into is a beef. That's been bothering me for a couple months.
What's your beef, Adam? What's your honk here? What's your beef, huh?
I don't think players should be able to have like junior or the third or anything on their uniforms
because it's not like their dad's out there playing.
Right. Unless
there's another player with the same name.
Unless there's another player or their ancestor was in the league. Like, it used to be Patrick Mahomes. Now he introduced himself as Patrick Mahomes II. Like, I know your dad played baseball, but he's more known for his DUIs than anything else these days. Like, he's really famous with traffic cops. I mean, right?
They love him.
But some of these guys, and the other beef I have with the whole like junior, the second, the third kind of jerseys, the guys that have senior on their jersey, it's like, you're kidding. Your 2-year-old ain't playing in the league, bro. Like,
the guy with senior on his jersey. Yeah. Like Luther Burden III has Burden 3 on there, and I was like, okay, whatever, Luther. I like him as a player. You don't need the third on there. It's not like your dad or your grandpa are out there taking snaps with you. They're not doing reps with you.
Yeah,
so.
I just don't. If they had the same name and he played in the league previously, I'd get it.
Right. If there was another Luther Burden on the team, then I go put the third on there. That
Or
way,
even
yeah.
previously, like in the 70s or 80s or something, it was like, oh, Luther Burden from the 80s? Yeah, Luther Burden won.
No, remember in the 70s there was a couple of teams that had like two Johnsons on there, so they put like their first initial on there, like L Johnson or R Johnson. That didn't bother me because you need the differentiation. But yeah, we don't. You're right. Good call. We don't.
That'll sum up my beef.
We don't. Yeah, we don't need the juniors and seniors on there. Okay, are we ready here?
Yeah, let's do this.
So Sunday I did my chicken bacon ranch. It's not Selena's favorite meal, but I really like it, and I do it on a pita bread. We got some nice feedback from Damon. Damon's doing chili.
Nice.
Joe did the crab, the crab, or was it lobster? Crab, right? I forgot.
I don't know.
Yeah, but he did. He did crab or lobster salad sandwiches, you know. And Deb did her soup.
So lobster sandwiches. I saw that.
Yeah, and Deb did her soup. And thank you to Deb and Kenny Hartsfield for doing the phone-ins with us over the weekend. That was kind of nice to hear from a couple of our big supporters. Adam, what did your family do?
So I did nothing
because you were a nervous wreck.
I was clung to the couch like we're still trying to vacuum the nail marks out of it. But the wife did her chicken bacon ranch buffalo sliders, and they turned out delicious. And she handed me the plate just as we took the victory formation, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. Yeah, it was like the golden moment. It was like I got food just as victory formation started.
A beam of light broke through the clouds. God reached down and touched you on your little Canadian head.
And I felt my entire body just start to relax, and the tension came out of my shoulders, and my headache went away, and my butthole unclenched.
Colors were brighter, smells were sharper.
Things weren't in black and white anymore. It was just amazing. So I didn't do much, but and I guess we're not going to be able to talk about food next week because there's no games.
Well, we can always talk about it, but
we can talk about food. We might have to just start a food podcast.
Yeah, I'm not that exciting. I've been circulating the same 6 or 8 meals since November.
What do you feel like eating this week? Before we conclude, do we actually want to look at what our
tell us the record
final
here.
numbers are? Our final numbers before going into Super Bowl 60. Oh my goodness. All right, you had a great season, Terry. You ended up with a record of 47-33.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's
really good.
That's well over 500.
Yeah, and I'm 4 games under 500 with a final record of 38-42. So, kids, you know what this means. Don't let Adam get all crazy because it's Bizarro World in the league next year, and he's going to pick the underdog who doesn't come through, and then the following week when he doesn't pick them, they come through against like the Super Bowl champions.
So what was your numbers again?
38-42. Where's Bob Barker when you need him?
Sorry, I just knew I had that.
So the best I can do is pick the Super Bowl winner and finish with a record of 39-42. So I'm definitely going to be under 500 this year. I believe last year, actually, I have last year's numbers. Yes, last year I finished with 40-38, and you finished 48-29. So again, you were excellent at picking games.
But not early in this year. Remember, early in this year, we were both under 500.
We were both shitty.
but that's the league. It took the league like a month and a half to shake out a little bit and for us to figure out who was going to be good and who was going to be bad. So
you know what was great, though? The Colts ended up being the Colts in the end, and the Falcons ended up being the Falcons in the end.
Yeah.
But we were all like, these teams are dark horses. Look at us. We're picking it. We know what's going on in the league. We have no fucking idea what's going on in the league.
Baker's going to be MVP. All right. So, Adam, where can the boys and girls find you at?
They can find me at Adam Off the Couch on X and Instagram, and you can find us both on Straight Off the Couch on Facebook or Straight Off the Couch Podcast on Instagram.
You can find me on the X at TREMUP. That's at TREMUP. And on the gram at Tear 'em Up Terry. Thank you once again for everybody that pitched in to let us know what was going on. We really appreciate you feeding back with us like that. We appreciate the phone calls. We appreciate all the interaction. I really like that a lot. I know Adam does too. So,
oh yes.
For my broadcast partner, don't leave things unsaid. Check on those you love. Until next week. Don't forget, we are doing a show next week. Until next week, we'll see you later.